That's right. So keep your clothes on this time, Brandon.
Aww.
I thought it was me that had that problem last week. Oh, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. That's what it was.
No, it was both. So what was the question? Oh yeah, yeah. You guys are in the dungeon, and you were talking about going back to town. And the only real question was, do you want to sleep first, then go to town, or do you want to go to town now? And the difference basically is whether or not you sleep. So which would you guys like to do? Also, Zag will be on shortly. Ben will not be on tonight. John may be on. Gonna poke at him, throw things at him.
Please do.
We'll do.
Poke the John Hemmer. We need a Captain Smith for this adventure.
Captain Smith?
There you go.
Yeah, from the Titanic. Oh, by the way, let's see. Well, okay, I'll wait till Zag gets here to ask that. I suggest we go ahead and, if we're going to go to town, just go to town, because that gives less of a chance of bad things happening to us in the dungeon, like going back to camp.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just do it and get there, and then we can
All
sleep.
right. Yeah. So are you guys gonna? How do you go back to town? Because if I remember correctly, Lev has used his teleport spell. You've already used one of the scrolls. Do you have another scroll?
Diamonds, I thought. Right.
Or that was my question. Do you want to use one of the diamonds, or do you want to use the scroll?
Okay.
I mean, I can recreate the scrolls, and those diamonds are expensive, so I'm down to use a scroll.
Okay. All right.
We'll get some more scrolls of teleport 20 feet later.
Right.
Sorry, man. We were at a bit of a tactical disadvantage in a winding, narrow passageway.
Just a bit.
Oh, we made it.
So you guys return to Quebec Pool.
Is that the name of that fucking place?
Has been ever since we started. So the wait a minute.
Oh wait, Brandon. Are we able to? We're able to take the bodies back, right? Of the were-rat and the drow, what I presume cleric, priestess, magic user for Speak with Dead.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We just need to be touching them.
Put them in the bag of holding.
We don't need to do that. We can
they
just
will
like
not fit also
hold their hand.
You have to hold the hand of the dead for Speak for Dead.
You have to hold.
No.
You have, in order to teleport with them, you have to have them touched. They will not fit in the bag of holding because they are not smaller than a halfling.
Okay.
So all right, you guys end up back at the town. Your good friend, or your good friend Rend, the Warforger, greets you with open arms and plates of veal. You have some ale sitting on the side. Basically, the inn is a raucous joy. Actually, it was definitely a happy time when you guys arrived. The people are always, the people today are extremely happy to see you, and there is definitely an air of jubilation, let's say, here in the town. It's definitely a feeling of happiness and progress, and things are good, and everybody seems to be fairly happy.
Oh my God, that means something terrible is about to happen.
I'm immediately suspicious.
No shit. Actually, Frodrick's that we own that inn, right? That tavern, and it has food.
That is correct. That is where the food is that they are giving you. Rend the Warforger is the cleric acolyte that you guys left in charge of the going
Okay.
on with the town.
Very good.
And the blacksmith's, not the blacksmith's son, the other guy,
Bane?
Bane, thank you. Yeah, Bane, the untouchable who was touched, is helping at the inn. He's one of the bakers and just like note takers. Baking, going back to baking is where he's at these days.
I'd like to see how he's doing.
Okay.
Frodrick just wants to observe him and just his interaction with people, how it seems like compared to the last time.
Cool. Yeah, you notice it's fairly stilted. He doesn't like to actually talk. He recognizes you and definitely is seems a little more animated when he sees you come in. But when you're watching him, without him knowing you're watching him, like just being sitting back and observing, he doesn't seem to talk very much at all. He takes orders and requests from Rend, and other than that, he's just really sticks to baking and putting things away and tidying up the back half of the inn's kitchen area.
All right. I'll leave him alone for now and just Frodrick wants to get some food and some beer and feed a few scraps to Bob, but I want to check in with the druid later and ask him about Bane and how
Okay.
he's been doing. I'll be right back. I gotta get some jalapenos.
No problem at all.
Well, it's nice to see the place isn't having a raucous 3-day party
This is true. It is not having a raucous 3-day party.
in anticipation of our return.
Yeah, but Ren seems to be doing a much better job of managing the inn, and he does present you with a bill. The city's he's been up at the city and managing the affairs of the inn and representing you guys at the city council. Oh yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man. But the cost so far is 3,700 gold pieces.
Okay, well, we left. I made a note of this. 7,500 gold, 1,300, 2,100 gold in jewelry, and actually no, 20. No, I do math.
You can do it.
8,
1
16,
and 1 are
4.6. We left 5.1k in jewelry
Okay.
and gems.
Cool. So yeah, so
that should be covered.
good. Then it would be covered. That so that tells you how much he spent of the amount that you guys gave him, left him.
And you said 3.5?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The inn is managing. In and of itself, it's not losing a lot of money. It loses only a modest amount because he's under orders to take in travelers and be a way station for the weary. But at the same time, the city itself is doing a lot these days.
So the city is taxing it heavily for building infrastructure. Is that what I'm getting?
That's what you're getting.
So, other than the bills, what's noteworthy that's gone on here that may involve us and may not involve us?
Roderick checks his Twitter account.
You want to do any carousing investigation checks?
I'm asking. Oh, what's his name? We've been saying his name, and I just forgot his name.
Rend, R-E-N-D.
Yeah, I'll ask Rend.
All right. Well, Ren rolls a 6, so he's been keeping his nose to the books. He's been keeping track of what's necessary for the inn to run. And man, he's
You know
been
what?
doing his best to keep things from falling apart. And this is not a job that he's ever done before, so he's lucky he's still doing it.
You know what? That's what we told him to do, so I'm satisfied with that. I'll go to let's see here. Who do I want to do it? One of my characters is going to mingle with people in the tavern and try to discover things themselves, but
I'm just in my head imagining a centaur casually mingling with people in a tavern.
oh yeah, no.
Horse needs to go outside.
Greetings,
Let's-
human. I have 20 times your strength.
Yeah. I'm fucking
Great icebreaker.
huge.
How are things down in the human world? Have a seat. No thanks. I have 4 legs and 2 arms. I will stand.
What would be the skill check for that? Gather information. Right?
That's the roll.
Okay. Then I'll just have Lev do it.
Okie dokie.
Racist.
Yes, they are.
21.
21. All right. There are 2 things of note that Lev finds out. First and foremost, he hears rather quickly once he comes back that there's a new mage guild. And it's popping. People have heard a lot about it. It's on everybody's lips.
Is this
Really
the
cool
same
stuff
one
going
that
on.
I'm a part of?
The names do seem familiar when you hear people talk about it, yeah.
Okay, good.
And the other is that there's a new cleric in town.
Oh?
Oh, Zach's gonna be delighted.
The bishop, Curran, has just recently arrived to the word consecrate the expansion of the Temple of St. Cuthbert.
Oh, awesome.
And so everybody's super happy, and he did a blessing of the entire town, and he's doing a whole bunch of really cool, amazing, helpful stuff, and people are just super cool. Like, oh, Bishop, what's up? Bishop Austin, man, you gotta check out the Bishop.
I'm glad this bishop is not adversarial to us.
Yeah, he seems pretty chill, pretty happy so far.
Well, you can kill him and speak with dead and then find out for sure.
Right? That's
And
one way to
you
verify
can't
whether or
lie.
not they're on your
But
side.
then there's that nasty alignment check thing. Damn.
I mean, it's rare that you get your alignment checked more than twice.
Yeah, because if you need it checked a third time, it's going to change.
Yeah.
Well,
So
all
those
right
are the
then.
big pieces of news that you've heard. Yeah, the heavy mace of St. Cuthbert has been swinging and very happy. The people are, and they actually greet, well, they greet Lev and Frederick and Blas and Bash and LJ by name. They keep forgetting who Blodgett is.
Interesting.
Well, he's basically the majority of time Blodgett's been in town, you've been hiding. So the majority of people don't actually know who you are.
A deadly skulking figure in the shadows.
Basically, that's his gig. That's his gig. What do you do for a living? I skulk. Oh, cool. How's that been going for you? Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a living. It's a living.
So when you say they, the people at St. Cuthbert?
No, the people of the town.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Bash rushes off as soon as you guys get back in. He's got some business at the blacksmith. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Yeah. Acupuncture clinic hours.
You know, there's only so many hours in a day and so many days in an hour, so he's got to make it happen.
I'll have, if we're not really doing anything at the moment, I'll have Lev go and pay Jeremiah a visit at the Inn of Seven Veils.
Okay. You find out that Jeremiah is not actually at the Inn of the Seven Veils. That's the first important piece, although the ladies of the inn are happy to see you.
Oh. Well, I'll ask about his whereabouts because this is where I last heard he was, although it was a while ago now.
Oh, well, apparently he still has like a room, when he needs it, but
Oh, okay.
they're like, most of the time he's at this new guild of his. Of his.
You wish for company, Master Lev? Check out the Mages Guild.
Uh,
You can go alone if you wish.
yeah, I think that might be best.
No problem.
I'm familiar with these folks now. So I'll ask about where I might find this mysterious guild.
It is a. Thank you, Joel. It is a tumble down. Shack on the part of town that people are not frequently as much now that there's a lot of new growth. It is right where this little V is. Basically,
Okay.
near, like between the inn and the docks. You've got some parts of town that are now the older ones. It's not necessarily dock level, but it's not new. A lot of the newer buildings are over here. You've got a bunch of newly constructed buildings on this side of town, as well as the new docks that they've put in.
Is there a deep Ellum type section in this town, or any
That's
gentrification going on?
That's basically what this area is. It's a deep Cabot pool.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'll stay for a little drink, chat with some of the people who work there and frequent the place to try and get any more news and become familiar with more people in the town. But my next move will be go towards that place.
Okay. Yeah, basically what you're hearing is that the town's popping. They've got a lot of new people moving in. The new big news is from the Inn of Seven Veils, especially the new big news is that the town now has an actual maritime naval component. Two actual ships that are dedicated to keeping track of the sea and getting rid of keeping the sea safe. So
That's
big thing
awesome
for the
news.
side. Mm-hmm.
Master Lev, I'll be glad to accompany you to the door of the Mages Guild, but I will continue on my way to the Druid.
Sure. We're going in a similar direction.
Oh, by the way, Master Lev, you might, while we're in town, I think it would be good for you to read that book that would improve your health.
Definitely.
Lost
We
from
can
the Ion Stones. Just a thought.
spend some time here in town while I read it, and then I can pass it to the next person, and we can decide from there whether we want to stay in town long enough for them to read it, or just wait until the next time we come back.
Bash is eager to read it as soon as he can, so basically as soon as he gets back from the blacksmith, he's going to be all up your ass about the book. Just FYI.
Okay.
How many hours a day per day do you have to study it?
Let me double check.
8.
8, yeah.
It can actually be used in shifts. 3 people.
8 hours a
each
day for 6
Hmm.
days.
That's a thought.
That's what I would suggest.
What's
I
the
would be
DM
interested
call
in
on that,
this.
Victor?
Sorry.
Reading the book in shifts so that we all get the 8-hour per day. Well, 3 of us anyway get the 8-hour per day bonus, and we spend 6 days, 8 hours each.
Theoretically possible.
Okay,
Worth a shot.
we'll give it a shot.
Let me know when you want to begin that and who's going to be reading and what order they're reading it in. But
Sure.
at the moment, you've heard from the inn, which is good. You go to the inn. You go to the new Mages Guild, and you find out why they put air quotes around it. It's about a 20 by 10 room down in Deep Havoc Pool. It's trying to find my liner notes on that guy. So it's about 20 by 10 room in this Deep Havoc Pool, or Deep Pool as they call it.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Say again. Say again. You were saying? John, I didn't know. Were you calling me?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, cool. In Deep Pool, so yeah, as I said, sorry, about a 10 by 20 room, lined full of books. The Give me a spot check.
Sure.
Left, please.
Now he's got an 18 on the dice.
All right. With your spot, it's going to be
So,
pretty darn good. You
20.
can tell at a brief glance, you can tell, not even concentrating on it, that the books are absolute leftovers, things that people were trying to throw away, not even magically oriented, just they wanted to fill the shelves.
More like recipes and cantrips, kind of.
100%.
Well, a good Mages Guild has to start somewhere, I suppose.
True story. Yeah, the gentleman is super happy to see you. Jeremiah is jumps up as soon as you come in. He and another mage type in robes are having beers and sipping on a hookah. So yeah, you walk into the smoke-filled room, and it's
We didn't go back to that shithole, did we?
yeah.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Zach,
Back to Kepik Pool. Jeremiah leaps up as soon as you come in, super happy to see you, pumps your hand, and he says, "Oh my God, Levin, we're trying to do our best. We have an actual, building now that we've got you, and we had so much good luck selling scrolls. We sold a bunch of scrolls. We're just killing it. We're just making super happy to have everybody here, and we put the word out. I think we're going to get some good feedback of other mages and like-minded wizards. Just he's super enthusiastic and absolutely talks your ear off.
well, here's to
For
your
several minutes.
continued fortunes then. I'll tell him I just wanted to stop by and see how everything was doing, and I'll let him know that I'm glad that the guild has its own building now instead of being a small meeting room in the top end of a tavern. And I'll ask him if there's anything that I can do to help him out right now.
He asks if you have any lines on where they can buy vellum, because the parchment makers are all sold out these days.
Okay. Can I roll a knowledge sword coast on that?
Sure. Pretty basic. Just 15 or higher is more than enough.
Okay, cool. So I got a 35.
You know that specifically, you know that the merchant ships who run from the south end are going to be more likely to have good scroll material, good vellum, because that's where you purchased it before. But also, the captain who comes in and does that doesn't always advertise.
Okay.
So it's kind of a private supplier kind of thing.
All right. Then I will let him know my source.
Okay.
I've got to plug my headphones in, though.
No problem.
Happy 420, everybody.
Oh, that's right. Happy 420, Zach.
420?
Yeah, today is April the
Today's the
4th.
big day.
It is 420 on the dot.
Okay. Yeah, it's the 20th of
Adam
April.
Lightem. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Adam Lightem.
so for those of you who are not drug inclined, 420 is the code for marijuana. So on April 20th, on April 20th,
Right.
we celebrate the great gift that the goddess has given to us of the weed.
This is truth. And Zag, just so you know, they are back at the town of Kabakpool again, teleported in, wagon and all.
How's the church?
Church is popping. The inn is doing a busy job. They're super happy. They're up to, they're still doing the two big ceremonies a week. Not really ceremonies so much as just gatherings. Rend, the Warforger.
It's like Fight Club.
Yeah, basically, it's like Fight Club. Rend has been, nose to the grindstone on managing the inn and the group's business interests thereby. He has ended up having to spend a bit of money, but it's not more than you guys left him with, and he's made a good showing. The inn is very boisterous, happy. Everybody's happy to see you. They're not running a 3-day party upon the arrival. And another factor that you've recently noticed as well is that what am I thinking? Brandon, Church of St. Cuthbert has expanded their space, and a new bishop is in. The Bishop Kieran is in town, and seems to be a very nice lady. So far, everything's going really well with that portion of the world. Also, the town has expanded a modest amount, and yeah, things are going really well. Cabot
That was
Pool
entirely
is
due to us, that expansion, by the way. These puppies right here.
absolutely true, and everyone in town knows your names except for Blodgett for some reason. Nobody can seem to remember who the figure in the shadows was exactly. But
Should put up a big poster to help people remember.
We walk through the gates and you hear the whole town go, Blaz!
yep.
Well, Blodgett's on a milk cartons everywhere. Have you seen me? Probably because I'm picking your pockets or killing you right now.
As we all walk in, everybody goes, Blaz, LJ,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Broderick, Lev, Bash, you.
And yes, You, yes.
Ooh, hey, you.
You, the adjacent character to them.
The one that you don't see because I just pretend like I'm not here.
Yep,
I mean,
actually,
you're
they
good at it. You're good at it.
don't even notice
That's how
Blodgett
you know you're a
because,
good
like,
rogue.
the moment everyone walks in, Blodgett hides within your character's shadows.
Yeah. And she can do it too. Now,
There seems to be something hiding in the shadow of that horse, but I don't know what it is. I'm good.
somebody who has run the Drow Gauntlet deserves that level of feat. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
They have it. So
Well, I only went as far as I felt comfortable, and then I started going, I think I'm getting too lucky, and my luck's going to run out, so I better get out of here.
yeah, about the time that the sanctuary spell kicked in is about when your luck ran out.
I was thinking, I'm starting to sweat because I'm getting nervous. They're going to smell me pretty soon.
Next time we'll bring Right Guard, or what is it? The one strong enough for a man but made for a woman? What's the name of that?
Secret.
Secret. Oh, that's right. Secret.
That's what I use. It's super good.
Strong enough for a gnoll, but made for a humanoid. I don't know. So
There you go. No, I like it.
No.
Keeps me in touch with my feminine side.
Mm.
All right. But yeah, so currently Blas, or Zach, so Frederick and Lev are hanging out over in Deep Pool, as it's called, the kind of Deep Ellum type 6th Street vibe of no, less 6th Street, more like the parts of Deep Ellum that you go to when you need to get stuff section. So yeah, in comparison to Austin, it'd be more 6th Street on the east side.
I was about to say, you're talking about the east side.
Yeah, more east side.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna spend time with my followers. That's gonna be my primary focus.
Okay.
I'd like to have that book of like manly strength thing that we got.
It's
That's been a popular topic.
Yeah,
favorite thing to
that
talk
has.
about. Even Ben's character, Bash, who's not here, wants to talk about the book.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
gonna
so
stay
we've
church.
devised a plan with the book. You have to read it for 8 hours a day,
For 6 days.
for 6 days.
Right.
So we're going to split it so that 3 of us can read it at the same time in 8-hour shifts, and we can do that for 6 days. So if Bash wants it, Lev needs it because of shit health, and you want it, then why don't us 3 do it?
Okay. Who else is gonna read it?
Bash,
And
the fighter.
an LJ?
Bash the fighter, Lev the wizard, and you.
Can wizards use that book?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's any character can raise the Constitution 1 point.
okay. Yes, please. That would be great. Does it actually have to be physically read, or can it be spoken to a group of people and spread the love?
It has to be read. The instructions are super complex, and there's a series of exercises and ways to get fit. Basically, it's a workout boot camp.
Got it.
But it's coming out on Blu-ray next year.
Yeah, it is actually. It's still going to be hard to copy, but you can put it on the big screen at least.
But I want it to stay at the church, and I want to create an elite force of cleric warriors.
Well and good, but we should have the whole party use it first.
That's fine. What are you laughing about? I'm serious.
That's why.
Well, Frederick is also interested, but I'm not going to get a Constitution bonus until I get an additional point beyond what I'm at now, until I hit 14. Right. So I'm kind of on the lower priority list, but I would like to raise my Constitution by 1 point in case I run into a Constitution reducing poison or something like that.
Who wouldn't?
Anyway.
So yeah, you guys have a good plan in place, and yeah, you've got a second line going, and then some post. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, we got past the dirty videotape around everybody.
Right.
Then you find out where everybody's like bookmarked,
Later on, you find it's more like The Ring, and it's like
Oh my God! Yeah.
It's not, by the way. It's not. Um, yeah, from everything that you've glanced over and read and looked at, it is definitely a book to raise your constitution 1 point. Oh, yeah. Did I tell you about the priest? Told you about the priest? Okay, blah 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 blah. Hold on, let me double check. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so yeah, Lev checked in with the Magic Guild. They're doing pretty happy. They're glad to see you.
How are we going to fence all this stuff? I'm sorry, Sal. Against all this stuff that we have.
That's
Well,
actually
if
what
any
I
of you
want to
have a
work on
merchant skill,
next.
I'm sorry, Victor.
or if any of you have a merchant skill, rock on. If not, then there is actually there are now 4 blacksmiths in town. So
Draw cloaks for sale.
We should keep
Yeah.
the drow stuff for
I'm
arming
kidding.
our cleric army.
Just think it's awful. To like kill all the like 40 drow, and then we have a garage sale.
right. Are you guys currently? I think who was it? Was anyone currently using the drow books? Oh, thank you, John.
No.
I don't
I
wait.
can't remember Blodgett. I can't remember if you were Susan. Is Blodgett using the drow cloaks or not?
I don't think he needs it.
Okay.
I mean, if it doesn't do anything special, does it?
You don't know. You haven't tried. I mean, it's not magical, but they fit. For you, they fit pretty good, and the boots seem very soft, and the cloaks really clean.
Well, of course, if they fit good and and they're better than what I have, I'll take at least one of each.
Okay.
But my boots are a little worn,
Well, this is true.
and I don't have a cloak, so that's awesome.
Check your messages. So Froderick, you also wanted to head over to the Druid.
Indeed. Yes.
So you head down to the Druid's place, still the same. Actually, matter of fact, just there are even more. It seems like it's even more. There are more plants. Because you're coming in, you see that the the small street the Druid lives on actually has even more greenery and niceness, but it's not necessarily ostentatious. But to your eye, as a ranger slash barbarian, you can definitely pick it out. You can see it. And the druid, as you come in, is in the process of boiling some tea, and you come to the door, and he opens it just as you're walking up and says, "Welcome back, Froderick."
Thank you, Master Druid. May I come in?
I was making tea so we could have a conversation. It's good to see you again.
Yes. Yes, let us sit. Tea would be delightful. I wanted to ask you about Master Bane and any other concerns that might be on your mind.
Yes, the tragedy of Bane seems to be abating. His connection to the earth is slowly but surely returning, I believe. I think with a little further encouragement and work, he'll be able to be back within the world of what we call society. I think with even more work, he'll be able to be back into what we call um, just the natural flow of the world and natural human living, where he belongs.
And yes, it is. And I would not foresee him or want him coming with us on further adventures because where we're going now is dangerous for any mortal. But is there anything else I can do or look for on Master Bane's behalf while we're out and about?
He thinks about this for a while. Thank you, John. You see him drinking tea and takes several sips before he responds. As I said that, the peanut gallery said, "You make a perception check and you see that he is touching himself under the table." I'm like, no, that is not what he is doing.
Is this a cure for Master Bane, or are you masturbating?
I'm masturbating, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He says, the thing that you are best to seek is a reflection of oneself. He says, the dangers that you are going to face are a level of darkness that is frankly intense and enveloping of one's self and one's aura. It is very possible when one goes deep into the darkness of the world to be consumed by it.
If I understand you correctly, Master Druid, it sounds like you may have a prescription for me and some of the things that have happened in my past. Do I read you correctly?
Mm-hmm.
I am receptive.
So yeah, that's what he tells you. And yeah, that's basically beware of the darkness that you're going into. Some of the paths that you are likely to go down are ones that will attempt to consume you as best as they can.
Do you have, along that line, just kind of clicked into my head as we're sitting here, do you have maybe some tea that we could, as a party, like when we take a respite or something like that, that might help wash off unwanted energies, keep it at bay so we have restful sleep and are mentally cleansed when we awaken?
It does. Using the tea is difficult
Smoking the
unless
tea.
you are using the tea is difficult unless you are fairly experienced in the ways of nature and druidism. However,
That is true.
I do have I swear to God, I was just going to say I do have some edibles, which is essentially what it is.
Here, have some fucking gummy bears. The next time you start stressing out Frederick and pistol whipping every creature in the dungeon, just take a few of these. You'll lighten up.
He gives you some gummies. They look like blueberries, but really they're gummies.
Okay.
And when I say give, I mean he offers for a
Sure.
For
I have coin.
the 3,000. And essentially what it gives you is six doses of druid berries. When taken, they cure 2d8 plus 6 hit points of damage.
That's a good deal. Yes, I don't say that out loud, but I am thankful for his gracious.
And please write this second part down as well, Joel. So
Yeah.
they'll cure 2d8 plus 6 points of damage. And we'll
2d8
give
plus
you
2d8 plus 6. You said
correct, and they'll give you an extra if you have been poisoned or adversely affected. They'll give you a second saving throw.
cool. 2d6 plus 2d8 plus 6 and extra saving throw. Are they, I'm curious, the composition, are they in such a way that you could actually put one in your mouth and then bite on it as a free action, if need be? Kind of like the opposite of a cyanide pill.
That's an amazing idea. No.
Okay.
But that is an amazing idea. I need to, I don't know how you would figure that. Like maybe if you encased them in glass and then when you needed them, you bit down on them and you took the damage of the glass, but then also got the healing. That's a horrible idea, and I like it.
I would probably use a leaf of some kind that's waxy and wrap it in that. And then you could put it in your mouth and then bite down on it. But that's, I'm not going to get too, how shall I say, let's not overthink that process. I'm grateful for the berries.
Okay.
So for Master Bane himself, is there anything that can be done further?
At this time, no.
Okay.
Since if you do run across if you do run across any something called a wand of light, then that would be fairly helpful, but it's pretty rare. So
Wand of light. Okay. Wand of light. Make a note of that. Look for wand of light.
I happen to have a wand of light right here.
That's the wand of high. Very good, Master Druid. I appreciate your time. I haven't slept in some while, and as you can see, I've taken a little bit of battle damage, physically and probably otherwise. So I'll take my leave of you for now and come back and visit before we depart again.
Will do. Thank you.
Good health and communion to you with nature.
And to you, Master Frederick, and to you.
Frederick leaves. Does the what do they call it? Interlate leave early for screenwriting when you do a scene or something like that?
I do not know the answer to that.
You've never heard that one, huh?
I have not.
Interlate leave early. Yeah, that's a maxim in writing scenes for screenplays. You want to start the scene like kind of in the middle of the scene and then end it without too much, okay, goodbye, see you later, good luck, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'll tell you about it later.
No, it sounds cool.
Later on, I'll visit probably Tim and the armory and some other stuff. But what time is it now, Vic, in the daytime or night or whatever it is?
You guys have returned. It's just after the noon hour. You guys have returned just after the noon hour. Oh, and Frederick and Lev, when you guys get back to the inn, oh, I get it. Okay, church instructions, never mind. The church obeys, and there's a big mess to clean up.
Say what? What you talking about, Willis?
Check the chat.
I'm trying to use the chat, and it doesn't have. You can't put returns. Like the minute you hit return, it like sends it. So I'm pissed off.
You can kind of.
Churchill Bay's and there's a big mess.
Okay, no. You can if you put something in text in like a notepad, you can type a whole bunch of stuff in Notepad and then send it in.
Right, and then copy it over.
chat.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's basically
But, no, you are correct. You are correct, Zach. You can't just type it straight in.
yeah. So I was going to leave instructions just because not everybody needs to be involved in that.
No, yeah, that's fine. And please do. So you guys make it back to the inn, and there's an eager young elf there, and when I say young, I mean 60 years old.
He's just a kid.
Yeah, he's just a wee child, really, of an elf. He sees Frederick and Lev come in, and he hops up out of his chair. He's sipping on some pale tea. He hops up out of his chair to greet the two of you and says, Master Frederick, Master Helder, an absolute pleasure to meet the two of you. I am Gildencrest, a poet of the Barrens, and I'm writing. Sorry, I had to burp real quick. I'm writing stories and notes about town to let people know the goings on. I've heard so much about your adventures and the fight you did against the demon from out of this world. Please, if you have a moment, I'd love to hear of your exploits and keep a better account for the town, so the citizenry knows and can fully appreciate the glory that you have.
Well, I'm willing to share this information, of course, but I'm curious to know how you learned of our defeating the demon from out of this world, as you put it, when that just happened and we haven't shared the story yet.
Indeed, I'm interested as well, young man.
Yeah, get
Frederick puts his hand on his kind of starts to unlimber his bow a little bit, just shaking a little off his shoulder, just a tad.
You're gonna bully the town bard? Really?
Not bullying him. I'm not. I'm just.
That looks like bullying to me.
That's bullying. Just like clench your fists or something.
You're a freaking knoll, and you just
Nothing. Yeah. Okay, I'll just stick with just a straight question to him. I just want to show. I want to show readiness. That's all. In case this thing turns into a Type 4 demon or something like that.
Readiness shown. Readiness has been shown.
Okay, that's all I need. I'm not trying to threaten. I'm just give me a straight answer.
No problem. No problem at all.
Straight as my sense motive can detect, anyway.
Oh, you know what? He could be talking about the Rakshasa.
Goldencrest describes a battle at the docks.
Oh,
yeah.
Where your party was heard and seen to be fighting some crazed creature, and then you took it to the Church of St. Cuthbert, and by all accounts that he's had, there was another fight inside the church, and it was exercised to the deepest levels of hell. And he wants to get your side of the story. Like,
Frederick quickly interjects. I think it would be best if you did not discuss this in the presence of Master Bane. Please, somewhere, other location.
Sure. Where would you guys like to? I'm more than happy to have a private conversation, or we could go like, I don't know. I literally have wherever you guys are comfortable.
At least upstairs, out of earshot of Bane. I don't want him to listen to this.
You know what? Why don't we go to the Inn of Seven Veils to have this conversation? We can share some drink, and it would probably behoove us to meet other people in other parts of the city.
Okay.
Sorry.
And we can look at titties or something.
What was I read a T-shirt that said something
Back on brand. I like that.
Yeah, basically, what is it? Boobs are to men what a laser pointer is to a cat. uh,
All right, back at the Inn of the Seven Veils. He asks about the Rakshasa fight, and is it true that you guys were basically summoning lightning bolts and pulling things from out of the world in order to fight them? Is it true that this demon like took over the minds of passerbys?
I don't remember if I used a lightning bolt in that fight, but it seems like something I might have done.
it was disintegrate, I believe, Master Lev.
Oh, disintegrate. That's what it was.
I used the scroll of negative energy drain, which looked like black lightning. So I think that's what he's referring to.
Okay. So yeah, and he tells you that according to the church, he speaks mostly of you, Frederick. The church, at the church portion, apparently, he says, is it true that you, Master Lev, were guarding the church from any further harm? Is this so? Are you like a guardian of the righteous? You're like keeping demons from coming in and hurting the saved.
Well, those are among the things I do, but on that particular occasion, I was elsewhere. The Church of St. Cuthbert and I have other disagreements, and we mutually tend to stay away from each other. Although it did allow, I suppose it did allow me to keep an eye out on the rest of the town to make sure there was nothing else.
Cool. He soaks it all in. Basically, like the only other stuff he asks is, I guess he asks like, Frederick, is it true that you were once a dwarf from the Skull Hills?
Once a dwarf, always a dwarf.
He's totally ambiguous.
Ambiguous? Ambiguous?
Ambigu.
Ambiguous. So that sounds like
Ambiguous.
ambiguous. Yeah. I'm still at heart a dwarf, but many other things. It is an interesting journey.
Cool.
I'm going to go ahead and have Lev make this roll as well.
Okay.
Here.
Jesus. All right, since you're both rolling, and Frederick nailed it, 19-1. Frederick, you read him as green as the fresh spring grass. You're able to turn his questions and check and see, where he's headed with the things that he's saying, enough to know that he is just starting out. And he basically tells you, because you angled the questions in such a way as to like, oh, well, tell me about this. Like, you seem to be wanting a good deal of information. What ends will you be putting it towards? And he's like, oh, we're doing this new, not just a young bard for the Baron. I'm like doing a history of the town, and and creating scrolls that will tell all of the work that you've done in Cabotpool and how we've gone from this modest town of decent means to a burgeoning city, young city, really, a tiny city, but still. So yeah, he's super happy, spills all of his beans, and appears to be telling the truth.
Does his alignment seem to be congruent with something good or at least neutral?
Well, you haven't checked his alignment. You're saying, like, does he appear to be someone who's in the?
No, I want to know what his camber and caster is in degrees, but
Okay.
that you never know. I might,
He looks
because we
to
might
be
have to use him
about-
as a wheelbarrow.
He looks to be up and up for the most part. He does not appear to be voiced in any ill will that you can tell. So yeah, so far so good.
Okay.
That is Golden Crest. He's from the east. He's from the Eastern Elves. So he's new to town and definitely trying to make his name, make his mark, kind of thing. He's eager to understand and deal with these city ways and the humans and kind of get his grip on what these humans do, kind of thing. So yeah. All right. Well, that is Golden Crest. That is Justin. Those are doing well. Oh yeah.
I suppose we can also regale him of the of our most recent adventure as well, if he's got the time.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. He has time. Yeah. So you tell him about what do you tell him about your most recent adventure, like in the against the fire giants?
Yeah, against the fire giants, and especially this growing mystery with drow who can change shape into terrible demons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to embellish it a little bit.
Okay.
Brave Sir Robin, bravely ran away. He bravely ran away. Oh,
Maybe I'll
brave Sir Robin.
maybe I'll tell him that they're demons masquerading as drow.
It pretty much winds up being the same experience, I would say.
Yeah, but it draws more attention to the demon and less to the drow.
Yeah.
Shadows.
Yeah. You're able to give him a pretty good accounting of the kind of the demon and the drow kind of thing. There you go. Okay.
If you have skills in performance, perhaps you could sing a song and I could do a dance interpretation of the latest set of adventures or something.
Actually, while we're telling the story, you could probably make that that role, because I don't doubt other people in the tavern might be paying attention at some point, and it would be good to get word of our exploits out to increase our fame and notoriety.
Would it?
I don't see why not. Why would it not?
I don't know. It could make us a target.
Are we not already targets?
Yeah, we are. But do we need more things pointed at us. Just curious. If you wish to, Lev, I'm not going to stop you.
I mean, I'm not the one with the performance skill.
Well, I was just being silly, really. And actually, it says less specifics and it's more drama and emotion is conveyed through dance, I would say, than actual like the nitty gritty details. So the way it's satisfying the answer without giving away too much.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Well,
I haven't
still,
used dance.
I think word of our recent exploits might prove useful to be floating through the town for goodwill's sake, if nothing else.
That's a good
And
point.
also, now that I'm thinking of it, we need to pay a visit to the Duke and tell him more honestly about this whole drow thing.
That is true. That is true.
Because we were commissioned to deal with the fire giants, or not the fire, but the giant threat, as vague as that was. And so we should give an update, discuss, what we're going to do next, and payment agreements, of course.
Agreed. How about we tell the bard, some enough to what his appetite, enough for him to write down and remember, but not oversaturate him, and also make time to go pay the visit to the Duke, because we do have a duty to report that.
Yeah, we should do that as a group.
That's true too. Good point.
So if we're done here, why don't we go gather the others?
No objections, Master Lev.
Alrighty. So you finish up with your friendly bard. And what did you guys want to do next? Oh, by this time, Bash is back. His pockets jingle and jangle. He seems happy upon his return. But he is, I'm honestly a little worried about why he decided to buy what he bought.
What did he buy?
I'm not going to tell you. But Ben specifically told me what he wanted to buy, and it doesn't make any sense. So,
Nude pictures of the
what the
Arthur?
hell is... Did he told you?
Yeah.
I thought he
totally.
just messaged.
No,
shit,
he shared
okay.
that with me.
Well, I guess that's what he's always wanted, I guess, maybe.
Actually, Zag inspired him to get it. It was on his Zag's recommendation, or
No, I'm much more a fan of Betty White. She's got a smoking hot little body for a 90-year-old.
That I have to agree with.
Oh, yeah.
Betty White?
Betty White?
Yeah.
Who's Betty White?
Get out of here.
Are you talking about Betty Page?
No.
No, Betty White.
How am I
don't
younger
know.
than you, and I know who Betty White is? Golden Girls, bro?
I never watched the Golden Girls.
Password Plus?
She was on Mary Tyler Moore's show. She was on, so many shows. She's a huge animal advocate, and she's like over 100 years old now.
I'm sure she's cool, but I.
You need to Google her.
You're right. I should.
I just
poured my entire drink in my computer. So I'll give you a second.
Well, it actually helps to lubricate the.
It's not water.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of bad, Suzanne.
Yes.
Give me a second. Huh.
Pouring coffee into your computer makes it go faster.
At least briefly, before it dies.
Okay, if we're not gathering everybody just yet, I have a bunch of stuff to sell too. How many jewelers are in town?
You're gonna clean their ass out, man.
Of their coin.
Yep. Here, I'll let you search Craigslist. I'm going to get another slice of pizza.
All right.
The one time, if I hadn't had this stupid COVID, I wouldn't be drinking any of this crap.
It's good and good for you.
Yeah, right. Not good for my computer.
You got
Oh,
my
no.
question, Victor?
Answer.
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. Did you say you have a question?
Yeah, I asked if you heard my question. How many jewelers are in town?
Oh, I did hear your question. You didn't hear my answer. 3.
Oh,
There are 3 jewelers in
3,
town.
okay,
I might have
okay.
been on mute, so.
Okay, I will visit one of the jewelers and say and let him know that in the dungeon delving I've come across more jewelry and gems than I have use for, and I ask if he'd be interested in buying some.
Absolutely. He's honored to purchase gems and jewels from someone such as you.
All right. How much? I understand obviously the need to keep some coin around, but how much of it might you be willing to part with?
He says, perhaps, I don't think we entirely understand how these transactions work, my good sir. You show me the jewels and gems that you have, and then I estimate their price, and then I give you an offer for them.
You don't have any merchant skills, do you?
No, I don't.
I do. I do.
It's roughly the equivalent, Brandon, of going to a pawn shop and saying, "How much money do you have? I'd like to sell you things."
Yeah, I'll respond
So-
with, I think you underestimate the amount of jewelry and gems I have come across.
Anything is possible.
I will, I've got one of the stacks that you've given me, Victor, is 7 pieces of jewelry worth a total of 41,000 gold. I don't know how this merchant is going to appraise that, but that's what you told me.
Hmm.
Stay behind the infantry.
That's absolutely what you have.
I say but to have someone barter with Tim if is he interested in such things? Good jewelry, to enchant gems or whatever.
Probably, I
No,
can
you
bring
haven't
some
gotten
to
to
him.
him yet.
Yeah,
You have the jeweler says he will give you 20,000 for the lot.
But God told me it was worth more.
20,000.
Well,
God said it was worth more.
sell it to God.
Sell it to God. Fuck you.
I can sell it for 200,000 on eBay or D&D Bay.
Just for that, I kill him.
The problem is God screws you every time.
I'd like to make a diplomacy check and try and push them for 30,000.
don't let it get killed.
Go for it.
20.
Earn your newbie dice rolls.
Cool. Now make a merchant check. An appraisal check.
Okay.
That's just
16.
like what? Damn.
Victor.
Good job. With the +2 from your diplomacy check, you get a total of 18.
Sweet.
Shit.
Bleeding.
Yeah, you feel fortunate. Very fortunate to be getting 20,000 for these. He helps you understand that while they are nice as antiques, they are not the type of jewels and gems that would be sold at normal markets these days. However, he's and he points out the flaws that exist in them and tells you, like, you can work around these. Definitely some stuff that I'd have to take out, put back in, clean up, etc. It's going to take some work.
Okay then, 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
Should have had V'ger cast suggestion on him.
Hey, you're funny. You're funny.
Liquid and donut tech.
Oh my god.
I've got 12 ivory tusks. I'll put 4 of them on the table and ask if these are any use to him.
Well, it's an entire tusks of ivory. Yeah, he could probably use them.
Well, if you'd like them, I'm sure you could get more use out of them than I could right now.
That would net you another 50 gold pieces per tusk.
50 gold
Per tusk. That's
per
not,
tusk.
I'm not buying an entire set of 4 for just that low amount.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the full, that's 200 gold pieces, sir.
I can buy every foot.
Shit, that'll buy us an appetizer in this town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys could get a full meal at Olive Garden for the group.
I think I will pass on that one and replace them with 2 gems that God told me are worth 500 gold.
That's what you get for listening to God. He'll buy the 2 gems for a total of 400 gold
Thank you.
pieces.
Okay, I'll take it. Well, considering his thoughts on the jewelry from before, I don't think I'll put any more of my jewelry on the table. Are there any other gems that I have? Jewelry, jewelry, jewelry. That thing's probably magical. I've got another pile of gems that God told me is worth 2,800.
Sorry. You can get 1260 in cash for them.
60? Is that what you said?
1,260.
All right, deal.
Dude, that's not even haggling. You're losing us money.
All right. Let's haggle with these 108 gems that I've got. I mean, do we want to do it for each one?
Yeah, that'll take all night.
Okay, but yeah, I do have another stack of 108 gems, apparently worth 100 apiece.
So God said, go for it. You said you have a stack of how many gems?
108.
108 gems worth how much?
100 gold apiece.
Oh, okay. It says from the cut on these gems and the fact that they've been sitting in looks like they've been sitting in someone's bucket or a chest. Were they sitting in a chest? Just a bunch of gems in a box.
I'm
And
trying to
sorry,
recall.
he tries to control himself. He's like, yeah, no, I can give you 2,700 for the lot, 2,700 for all of them.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay, well, I will thank him for helping me lighten my load some, and say it was nice to meet him and tell him to have a good day. And then I'll go see Tim.
I'll go with you.
All right.
I have something to tell you, by the way. I'll send it to you in
Sure.
chat. Just a sec.
So Blodgett is joining in as well?
Blodgett's going to tag along, even if they don't know it. I like going to Tim's.
Frederick figures
Especially.
it out after a minute.
Oh, shit.
I got it on my phone too.
I will use this time
Oh, I got it.
to study the book.
Sure.
Sleep. Oh,
Blas, when you can, when you start opening the book and looking at its contents, you realize it's super intense. Just straight away, you're gonna have to just read what this stuff does and start doing the workouts immediately to retain it, because it's not the kind of thing that you can just read for a little while and then walk away and then be like, oh, I know how to do this.
Right. So it's pretty
So
much a 6-day routine, right?
it is the technical boot camp, like, I don't know, sysadmin boot camp from hell is what it is.
Well, my days are going to be spent doing this and then attending to business and spiritual counseling and
Yeah,
no.
Oh,
so it's so intense that I won't be able to do anything but read this book for 6 days?
That's correct.
Oh,
You're reading it for 8 hours. You're going over these lessons, you're doing this stuff. You're still going to have to work out and do all this other stuff. There's more stuff to do for the next 8 hours. And then by the time you are done, the 16 hours, you are dead. You are drained. You are completely out.
all of this for 1 point of constitution?
it's only for 6 days.
All of this for 1 point of constitution. Crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't need it.
Okay.
Usually you have to rise, 3 levels to get a point.
Yeah, I know. You could just go back in the dungeon, go rise up 4 levels, and you can get an appointed constitution.
4.
You're fine.
4 levels, yeah.
Hold on, give me a second.
Before,
Before I make
36 hours, less than a work week.
Before I make such a hasty mistake, give me a second.
Sure thing.
I already have a 16 constitution.
Yeah.
Hey, you're fine, man. You're healthy. You never come close to getting dead.
No,
I
I put myself into situations where I can almost be dead.
That's why we like you. We love your sense of begrudging self-sacrifice.
I know. I don't think. Yeah. How long are we going to be here for 6? No, I don't want to do that for 6 days. Someone else can like read the book. I'm going to tend to church business. I'm going to like have special ceremonies and bring more followers in, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
Take care of any issues that anybody might be giving the church while we're gone, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're talking specifically about those issues, you might want to send me some messages.
I don't know what the issues are.
Oh, well, then. Okay, so wait, what? Say what you said again.
I said I'm going to take care of anybody who's giving the church any issues. And you said, okay, well, text me about that. I don't know who's giving the church issues.
Give me a gather information roll.
A gather information roll.
Gather information
Wow,
roll.
that's specific. Hold on. Can I use my spot find for that, or diplomacy? Or leadership?
No,
Gather
you're gonna use
information is a
your.
skill.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I know. I know. You're gonna do it unaided. You're gonna use your charisma or wisdom, whichever's higher, and you get a +3 bonus.
Okay, hold on.
You get a +3 circumstance bonus.
Oh, dice roller. You call me by surprise. Give me a second.
No problem.
That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Full of viruses. There we go. Okay, I'm rolling. I rolled 18. You said +3 is 21.
Good. I'll send you some information.
Okay, thank you. If anything you bring to Tim is used by clerics and that is not evil, bring it to me, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Talking on what? Speaking with evil.
Suze sent you a chat PM message. I don't usually do that, so I thought I'd just say something.
All right. You guys get to Tim's without any problem. No one appears to be. No one else appears to be glancing your way or giving any more attention than they would give a armed and armored gnoll and a wizard walking through town that have purportedly saved the city, which is to say you get a few looks, but nothing crazy. You get over to Tim's without a problem. You arrive, and Tim seems in good spirits. He's got a bevy of very small cakes sitting around. The rest of the shop is a few odds and ends here and there. Doesn't appear to be cleaned out so much as just.
Sorry, Brent.
Wrong one.
I know. Sorry.
Did you guys hear that? Okay.
Sorry, Rick.
Hey there, Tim.
We're at Tim's. That's great.
What are these cakes?
He pats his belly, as tiny as he is, and says, "An experiment in baking, my friends. Try one. Try one. They're just absolutely delicious." You see, these cakes are very small, about 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches cubed, uh, iced and with very detailed, small filigreed icing, um, and little tiny pictures of different things on them.
Well, I should have known it was an experiment, I suppose. You know me so well by now. Is there a particular cake I should try?
Um, well, it depends on what you're in the mood for. Look closely at them, and each one is a delight in itself.
All right, I will
Upon
obey and
upon
look
closer
closely at the
inspection,
cakes.
the pictures drawn on them in very, very tiny amounts of icing are of a sumptuous meal of some kind. One is a pie, one is a roast duck, one is a turkey, one is a series of uh, drumsticks laid out in a circle. One is another picture. It's a picture on the small cake of an actual cake.
I'll try the duck one.
All right. It feels as if you had had an entire meal of roast duck with all the fixings. It's pretty incredible.
And you start transforming
That's
into a were-duck.
so that's what those ducks would have tasted like.
That is exactly. I mean, you can completely feel the juice of the ducks, and slowly but surely you'd start to turn into a were duck. I'm kidding. You do
Oh
not turn into
no! I begin to sprout feathers. Roll a
Quack.
d4.
Okay, now try appraising with a merchant. Maybe you could get a better deal as Donald Duck
hmm
or Scrooge McDuck.
That
A duck,
is
a duck comes in and offers
spectacular.
to sell you some jewels.
Yeah, or some. What is it? It's life insurance, isn't it? Aflac.
hmm
Yeah.
I will tell him that that is spectacular and encourage Froderick to try it as I ask him how he managed such a culinary achievement.
Well, it's a cube. It'd be kind of cool if it had like all 6 faces had different meals that you rolled for what kind of meal you got.
He looks at Frederick and thinks for a moment. He's like, I think it would be pretty awesome. Um, as far as how I came across them, a friend of mine is a baker extraordinaire. And he's so good that he doesn't let the fact that he's been dead for 6 years keep him from making extraordinary treats. So I am lucky enough to have access to him once in a while. But yes, they're basically
Necro baking, or do you play channel dead knowledge skill points from
he's more of a necro baker.
Necro baker? Okay, I like that.
I don't suppose your friend would be willing to teach our baker back at the tavern a few tricks of the trade.
Oh yeah. He has seemed interested in passing on his expertise. So yeah, I can definitely talk to him about it if you'd like.
That would be lovely. I'll tell the lad to come on down here for some baking lessons.
Okay.
I'll stop.
No, I like it. Skeleton cookies. This is good. Declares from the dead. All right.
Yeah. Now that'd be
Tim
funny.
asks how your adventures have gone so far.
That's good.
Well, it was quite a close thing this last time, but we made it out on top once again.
Good.
And
When you survive, you bring back better stuff than you do when you die.
and boy, have we brought some things for you this time. Do you want me to start with the normal things, or
Let's
get
start
right into the
normal
deep
and then
end?
go from there. He's like, yeah, let's start slow today.
Okay. I will go ahead and put my 11 pieces of jewelry worth 6,000 gold pieces each, or so God told me, on the table, and ask him if he'd be interested in purchasing these for enchanting purposes, whatever he sees
I'm playing
fit.
D&D with your brother right now. What's up? Oh, okay.
He's
Discuss a little bit.
yeah,
Told me.
yeah, he can. He can't give you full price for him, but he can give you 50%. I mean,
That's fine.
So
all right.
what's the plan now? I don't know that. He just said
Give him a hard reference.
Anything for a friend.
Oh, thank you. He's very appreciative. He's curious to see. Okay.
Curious about what?
He's curious to hear if you guys have any more.
Okay, obstacle course. Okay.
And he's basically, have you had any luck actually beating the giants? And do you have any giant bits and pieces or what have you?
Of course we have. We've. I forget exactly the head count, but
Yeah, there's
suffice to say, it's more than any of us could count on all of our fingers and toes together at this point.
Oh wow.
I will put the giant's belt worth 2.5 thousand gold pieces on the table.
There's 5 plumbing problems I had. And I still got to work on my car. And
He's like,
so, yeah, sorry, Nick.
he definitely didn't expect jewelry or anything from the look on his face. He was more expecting like bits of giants.
Oh, the giants themselves.
Yeah.
No.
Getting spell components. I, of course, absconded with at least 2 toenails for you.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
He is.
That's all I could hide because they're too big.
That's true. They are huge. It's about, yeah, he's more than happy to buy those off of you. He's like, Blodgett, you dressed rather unusually today. I almost didn't see you come in this time, which is a rarity.
I'm sporting a new outfit.
I know. Where did you get that?
Sporting a new outfit.
It's just one of those things to pick up,
Do you happen to have any more? And you've been wearing it outside, I see.
Of course I have.
You might want to take a look at it. But do you have any more that you haven't had outside yet?
As a matter of fact,
Lab has them.
It's like really hard to.
I was planning on keeping these for use with the small force our church is having, but I could definitely spare you a few sets at the very least.
Oh, just a couple would be more than enough. Thank you.
All right. I will put 2 sets of drow armor on the table, along with 2 of the 2 sets of the cloaking boots.
His eyes absolutely light up.
And I'll even put down 2 of the drow crossbows with their bolts.
This is Lev, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you also mentioned that I have a shit ton, as you put it, of drow poison darts. I don't know how many exactly that is, but I can put a small amount in
No,
there
it's
too.
about 10 per crossbow.
Okay.
So look at the number
So-
of crossbows you have.
So
Yeah, we
that'll
should-
be total 90. I'll put 20.
Okay. His eyes light up. He's really ecstatic. He basically gives you, he gets a small box with a bunch of compartments, puts all the rest of the cakes in it, and gives it to you guys. You basically have between the entire party about 3 days worth of quality rations.
Awesome.
They're not.
Um,
I mean, technically they're magical, but not really. But they don't do anything besides feed you very well.
Okay.
But they feed you very, very well.
I recall.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. Yeah. So,
good.
Yeah.
We've been haggling with Tim.
Okay. What does he have that might be of interest to Froderick, just so I can just cut to it? And
So far he's traded you a ton of small cakes. Other things that would be of interest to Froderick, the Ranger Barbarian.
got a longbow by any chance?
No, he does not have bows. He doesn't have much in the way of weapons. Most of what he's
That's
been
fine.
dealing with has been the
Okay, I see his shop now. It's more full of curiosities, oddities, and wands, and like going into a metaphysical store.
20 times, yeah, definitely more of that. He does have a bull that he's been working on. I don't know if it would. He's like, I don't know if this is more really for any of you for your specialty, but I remember that you have a cleric friend, yeah?
Yes.
No, and the LJ, the cleric fighter, barbarian, centaur, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have any bards on your team, do you?
No, not at the moment. No.
Yeah. He says, well, he pulls out a small crystal bowl.
Okay.
And he says,
He loads it up with weed and he smokes it for 420. Let's go.
man, it's really good with that. But he says, this is a bowl of healing.
Oh.
You play it if you've got a perform skill or you're a druid or a bard. You can play the bowl. And if you do not, then as a cleric, you can basically meditate on the bowl. You play it or meditate on it for about a minute, and for the next 10 minutes, all healing spells within a 10-foot radius of the bowl are doubled.
Oh, wow.
That might come in handy. Yeah.
That absolutely will come in handy.
Blaws to have that.
Bring it back.
Hey, Blaws, I think we got something for you.
Yeah, I heard. Bring it back. It's a good thing that I have musical performance.
Awesome.
You do
yeah,
good. Excellent. Perfect.
So how much does he want for the bowl?
A mere 5,000.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Wanna
Probably
buy
talking
it
him up
for
to
a shot?
7,000. Lev.
Huh, you're funny. Just for that, you're paying for it.
Okay, I will.
It's gonna be nice.
You are being nice. You're not throwing a fireball at me.
Take
Yeah,
what we
count
can
your
get.
blessings.
I count my saving throws
Mm-hmm.
and my good friends and their tolerance for me.
All right. I've got this this cool robe that I haven't identified. It's inlaid with garnet, topaz, opal, and amethyst. And seems magical, but I haven't had the chance to identify it just yet. I burned up all my spells, and I was hoping you could help me with it.
It's a mimic. Ah!
Ah! It's been in my bag the whole time.
That describes their gaming sessions in general. It's, has, sets, of of transactions punctuated by moments of sheer terror.
And moments of sheer genius also.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
He says, so apparently you've delved deep into the drow.
If by delving you mean putting a lot of arrows into their vital organs, yes.
That is
Oh, this
entirely
is
what I
just the
mean.
beginning of the strange and dark drow treasures which I possess.
Okay. Let me see. He says, well, I'm personally a little amazed because it has no, the drow that you got it from, you succeeded in getting it from them without causing any scars or marks upon it. So you've done a stand-up job.
We do our
Um,
best.
Brandon, how much did I say it was worth? How much did God tell you it was worth?
God told me that was worth 30,000 gold.
Yeah, you'll be able to get 20,000 for it.
Does it have any magical properties?
It does not per se. It was apparently it apparently belonged to a priestess of law. I can tell you that from the design and the yeah. Um, the sigils upon it. But there are things that were done to it that are not normal. So
What
so
might
yeah, this
those
is a
things be exactly?
well. There are gods within the dark realms that are not good for sanity. There are gods basically that are much less connected to the realm of planes than Loth is. And it appears that our elvish friend was dealing with those because you see these topazes and the mauve coloring that's stitched in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not Loth. That's someone else. And so there were other connections and deities being interlaid upon this. It appears there may have been some games being played among the.
Then I have more things that I'm not terribly interested in selling the robe in that case. It may prove of some interest or use to us in the future where we're going. But I have some related things I'd like your opinion on that I'm going to ask you to get rid of the door for. Referring to the door to his shop.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Oh, you turn around and the door's not there.
Okay. I will produce the unidentified rod with 6 tentacles and one of the rods with 3 tentacles and tell him to be very careful with these.
He takes a step back.
If he intends to attempt to do any work with them, he should be prepared because they fight back.
He laughs.
Yeah, he probably gets that a lot.
He says, "Yeah, this
Oh,
this
also
explains a lot, actually."
the 2 rings that are connected to these as well, because I made a note
Okay,
of
so
that.
there were a total of 3 tentacle rods and 3 rings total. Is that what
okay.
you're bringing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and yeah.
That's where they are. I had to pull out the notes on this magic item. It's in a different area. Okay. He's like, it's going to take some time to suss out exactly where these came from, but from what you've said in this cloak, I definitely think I can figure it out.
I'll also tell him about the strange ritual room thing with the pillars, the one that was behind the hidden door.
Yep.
In case that'll give him any context with it.
He's like, yeah, that narrows it down. He basically he says that if you made a map of the planes of the gods, and that map was a circle. This is the corners of that square.
He does say exactly that, right, Victor?
Mhm.
Okay. So basically, what it sounds like is that the geometry of the planes does not follow the same rules as the geometry that we're familiar with on the material plane. Exactly. Is that what I'm getting? Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more thoughtful about this stuff than anything else. He's like, I can definitely probably figure it out, but you've given me something to work with. This is going to be entertaining.
All right. Well,
Entertaining, we mean deadly. So
Well, I mean, try it tomorrow.
potentially, but no more deadly than other things we have to deal with.
I will not ask you to take this burden, but if
Plus
you're
the 5,000.
interested in attempting, then it is a
Oh,
mystery that I need help with solving.
I'm very interested. I haven't died in a long time.
You know, it's been a while for me too, I think, now that I think about it.
You know, having lower hit points has actually made you a lot more durable
Careful. Yeah.
Interestingly.
He's more aware of his mortality now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since I got one shot by that manticore from full health to negative like 14 or something, I was like, oh, maybe I'm in over my head a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe frontline is not my gig.
Now, there's something to be said about getting a fireball in before the rest of the party gets within the area of effect of it.
Right?
That's doing it.
But in the future, I think I might just fireball the party.
Honestly, safer.
As we go up in level, the more we can suck it up and just walk it off. And now that we have the bowl, we could do that
Yeah.
more easily. It's like, I'm sorry, Eddie Murphy's
Victor's
barbecue.
just
It's like, that's all right. He'll be okay. Just roll him around. Roll him around.
Victor's just tempting me.
What?
Into
Well,
what?
into fireballing the party.
Blodgett takes exception to that thought.
Blodgett, you have evasion. You should be the least worried about being fireballed.
I don't burn well.
I think you have the best reflex save in the party.
Oh, roasted hobbit, yummy.
Roasted hobbit does taste good. You can't deny that, Blodge.
Well, if he's interested in examining these things, I have one more artifact, probably the most terrible, that I can lend to him.
Okay.
I will produce the black leatherish staff with all the disgusting scenes carved on it.
Oh, yeah. That's going to make an impression.
You see Tim actually turn whiter. Not easy for a gentleman as old and pale as he is, but he does a substantial job.
Nice
I
job.
tell you, it's been an interesting adventure, my friend. It is no exaggeration.
Tell him how we actually had to fight a being with this, armed with this thing.
Did indeed. Some drow priestess who transformed herself and mirror imaged herself. Tactically, we were even on the back foot.
Froderick
Wow.
asks Tim, now that you see this staff and some of these, we have actually brought back the body of the priestess to speak with dead. Is there a question you might suggest we should ask of her that would aid you in your studies of these artifacts?
That's
Or-
right, we did.
He says that's actually yes.
Okay.
I'll write it down.
He says I'm curious if
And he dies.
He says the thing to be curious about with this, the owner of this staff, would be if they knew the wearer of the robe and whether they were truly working together or apart.
The other draw priestess.
Yeah, it would not, and he nods with in affirmation when you say that. He's like, I did not suspect that they would be, this robe and this staff would be wielded by the same creature.
It was not.
The robe is more from the outer planes, and the staff is more from the lower ones. He says,
There are two different deific systems at work, along with the third of Lulth.
Is this like a basically competitive extraplanar factions we're talking
he
about?
nods. He nods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that's what I would be curious about. I believe that to be true, but I never put it past the Underdark to surprise me
By the
more than
way,
it has today.
yeah. So the Underdark. So the Underdark is a series of passages, extensive, right? Just as varied and vast as our surface world. Is that not so?
He says, think of the Underdark more as an extension of. I have a text for you, by the way.
Oh.
He says, think of the Underdark more of an extension for Lilith's planes than a path down from here. They're not connected as one hallway would connect to another. They're more connected as if they were the back alley to someone else's house.
Kind of like they're basically coexisting extra and interdimensional crossroads.
Yes.
Is an extension physically, and there's I take it that not the barrier, but the threshold between our worlds as we know it, the primaterial plane, and the other planes gets fuzzier and fuzzier depending on where you go.
I've heard of people trying to go through, but it's not something that is easily done without extra help.
I'll ask
Some
him
level
what
of
he
magic
knows
is usually
about
required.
an artifact called the Necrolith, then.
He says, actually, he looks around for a second. He says, some people I know of who are friends of the king may know more about it. I can't speak on their behalf, but if one had a way to talk to the friends of the king, one would probably be able to find out more about this thing called the necrolith.
I suppose I ought to find a way to do that then. Thank you for the lead.
And for the warnings.
Let me see if there's anything else that may be of use to him.
Do you have any scrolls or potions, Master Tim?
Something caught in your throat, Zag?
Just some Hawaiian blue.
Buzzing and it's driving me crazy and it's
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Victor was worried
Oh,
that you were
no.
choking or something.
Oh no, just you know.
Purple soda mishap.
Yeah, just a mishap. So, sorry. So yeah, as far as potions, so he says there is actually a potion I've been trying that I really do like. It's a potion of awakening, a filter of awakening. He's created 2 of them. And it essentially is you pour it on an item, or you get the recipient to drink it, and it is an awakening for the druidic spell.
Oh, okay, so per the druid spell awakening, that's what you're saying. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Let me take a look here real quick. See,
He can sell them to you for a mere 3,000 gold pieces apiece. They're pretty rare, and he says, "Don't tell the druid I made these."
it sounds
He'll
good
get
to
mad.
me.
Yeah.
I just you got me really curious.
Yeah, just don't tell the druid I made these. He'll get mad.
The druid. Oh, the druid. Oh, okay. No, I won't say a damn thing. We're separate doors there. Awakening.
Or just awaken.
Awaken. Oh.
What does it do?
It awakens things.
You know, like if you had a frog or something, you wanted to talk to it, you can awaken it, and then it would be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, like those animals we saw
Mm-hmm.
in the bear.
Or the snails that you killed.
I don't remember no snails.
Yeah, killed some snails.
Too little, too
Okay.
late.
That's yeah, we did kill some snails. Yeah, we did.
Snail killers.
Snail. Yeah, I know. We're now throughout the kingdom for that. Some say snails. We say escargot on the go. Yes, I'll take one because I can't think of an immediate use, but I'm sure it will draw upon creativity.
Tim says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm sure you'll think of something."
Well, I don't say that to him out loud. I just what I say is, yes, I'm sure I can find a creative use for this. And Frederick smiles. So, does anybody else want one, or should I buy both of them?
You can go ahead and buy both.
Okay, I'll get both.
3,000 apiece.
You got it. 6,000 gold. Yep.
Victor, I did come across one more thing that may be of help to him.
Mm-hmm.
The ebony screen that you said was used for less scrying and more some kind of communion with darker planes. It may tie in with that staff.
That would absolutely tie in with that staff. Okay.
feel like it might be a little dangerous giving this guy all the tools he needs to summon a bunch of demons and shit.
I think Tim knows what he's doing.
Shaw.
To a
Yeah,
point.
that's what I'm kind of afraid of.
Look at it this way: we're giving him some growth challenges.
At the very least, if this is a mistake, it will be very interesting.
You know,
Yes.
it would be interesting to find out if we successfully leveled a merchant up through our adventures.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Victor has Tim gained a level?
Yeah, more like 3, I'd say.
I wouldn't call them levels, but he's definitely gaining.
Yeah. He probably finds some of our stuff that we bring in. I'm sure he's like, sometimes he's laying in bed at night and just like, I wonder what the fuck they're gonna drag in next. God knows.
Just doesn't see us for 2 months, and we're like, hey, we found some cool stuff.
Look what we took off the bodies of the dead that we, you know.
Yeah, it's probably like the darkest artifacts that have ever entered this town.
Yeah. We found this on the janitor. You know, it's like the orb of, you know, Demogorgon or something like that. You know what would be funny is actually to like get something that looks like a really good artifact and you find out it's actually like a, you know, say the women's soccer trophy for the Drow, one of the Drow teams in the Underdark or something like that. It's a sports
Yeah,
trophy.
it says participation award in Undercommon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Thanks for showing up.
Oh my goodness. All right, so
Or as Spock
Thus,
would say, I see you have survived yet another transit of your planet around its own sun. Commendable.
ooh. Thank you, Easter Bunny. All right. So thus encumbered, Tim concentrates for a moment and the door reappears. He says it's much easier coming than going. Or whatever. You know what I mean.
Something along those lines.
I can't keep their packs.
Hmm?
I thought it was I can't keep this with packs.
What was I going to say? Anyway, Tim's shop has returned and you're able to leave. You've got the cultures of awakening. Blodgett, were you looking for anything specific?
Wait a minute.
The wrong button. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. I'm just gonna leave it here for credit in case I think of anything, but I'm good right now.
Okay.
And if I find anything else good I think that she'll get, I'll just put it in my pocket.
There you go.
Vic, is this Tim's shop is an interdimensional shop, isn't it?
Hold on 1 second.
Because it reminds me of the science fiction story, short story called The Weapon Shop, that it would appear and then disappear and had cool shit inside it that you couldn't find anywhere else.
Right.
And nobody remembers that shop being there, that kind of thing.
It's similar. Yeah, definitely similar.
Okay, good enough.
Lev will take the hint that it may be time to leave soon, and
Oh yeah.
I'll let him know that we're likely to be in town for a while now. So if he needs anything or finds out anything, just call upon us, and I'll be sure to visit him before we leave. Either way.
Will do.
You come back and tell him what we learned from Speak with Dead. I think that will be useful. And then we have to go see the Duke here.
Yeah.
probably should get that encounter out of the way so we don't look too
Too
sloth
tardy.
this. Yeah, we don't look too much like, wait, yeah, we just wanted to party first. Oh, by the way, behind the whole Giants uprising, there's something you might want to know. But we had to get our, we had to get our swerve back on tight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I need to put cookies in the oven and preheat the oven and everything, but I am down to do that encounter next.
All right.
If you need to prep Vic or something like that, I can put up a couple things. Or
So if I remember correctly, the entire party's going to go talk to the Duke, correct?
Yes.
yes, we all present ourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm also going to take the opportunity for a bio break, but I will be listening.
All right, we'll do. Getting an audience with the Duke at this point for you guys is fairly simple. You come to the fortress. You can see that they're having worked on and expanding the fortress. The quality of the guards is much higher than it was last time you came by. And they've definitely got his lordship, the Duke, has been doing his grace, sorry, has definitely been doing well. He's pretty pleased, of course, to see you.
And we haven't changed form this time. That might be surprising.
He's very glad about that. He's very glad you're keeping the same form.
It's so hard to keep track of names when people keep changing, polymorphing, and reincarnating into something else.
Right?
Yeah, I sympathize.
He welcomes you and asks how long you guys will be here and if there's any news, any success with taking out the Giants.
Well, we asked for a private, if he thinks it prudent for us to sit in a private area to talk, because some of the things we found out might not be for all ears.
Oh, you definitely can. Yeah, he definitely can create a level of privacy.
Okay.
Instead of meeting in the main chamber, he'll clear out one of the conference rooms and have a suitable arrangement served. So you are served by a group of servants, fine wine, finger cakes, and sweetmeats made available.
Fingered cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not made with real fingers.
Okay. Just the middle ones.
And it's basically it is a very nice repast. He does his best to show that he's glad to have you guys back in town.
Glad to be back, your lordship. I believe, or dukedom, or something like that. So probably Lev and LJ regale most of the tale, Froderick adding in certain details as, if he feels like there's some things that need to be clarified or added. But we definitely bring across the thematic elements of the Giants working together, but they are basically the Drow are directing it, Drow of the Underdark. And on our next venture, we are probably going to make our way into the Underdark. And basically the plot thickens. And we were advised by somebody close to us that there may be people close to the king that we could talk to about these elements of the Underdark that could at least give us some cautionary tales.
The Duke
or perhaps more.
The Duke is fairly surprised. He's like, yeah, that's outside of my wheelhouse, as it were. That's not something I've even imagined.
Understood.
Don't forget the dragons.
Oh yeah, and the tale of the multiple dragons to the south. He's looking upon it, looking on in wonderment. He's just absolutely thrown to believe that not only is there a dragon down there in the darks of this dungeon, but more than one.
Hmm.
And he's like, all the blessings of the city are upon you. Um, anything that I can do to support and help you in this venture, please let me know.
Yes. Well, what can you do? Is there another city we might, or like, if we were to seek the advice of one of the king's associates, where would we go? Because you said, you yourself said it is not in your um, primary political path. It sounds like, if I hear you correctly.
Leave that
that is
much to Lev because I've got a couple of leads on that.
Okay. All right. Lev covers that then.
Yeah, he
I'm
definitely can
more
help.
I'm more interested in what he might do for
A Klondike bar?
what would he do for a Klondike bar? Uh, no, but what
He
he can
tells you
do
he's still
for
atoning
the
for what he's done for a Klondike bar.
aren't we all? I'm interested in what he can do for the church that we run, as his duties will be primarily more domestic, of course, as the Duke. That is the best place to help us.
It's funny when they see things like
So the church helps. How does it? Are you talking about
Our
Blas's
church, our church.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I was gonna say St. Cuthbert's. How does that?
No, I just
Okay,
forget the name of the goddess right now. You know,
Nunya,
Nanya.
Nunya. Yeah.
Nanya.
none your business.
So you need some help with your Church of Nanya?
I was interested to hear how you might help it grow. I mean, we obviously cannot be here all the time to run the place ourselves, and it's a great duty to put upon um, the sole acolyte that we've put in charge of the place.
Perhaps suggestions for marketing might be the line of inquiry.
And he's like, I'm a bureaucrat, not a priest.
Yeah.
I don't know much about growing a church, but he looks to Blas, Zag, and looks to you and says, what can, I mean, is there a,
There's nothing that you I requested you, except for perhaps you might want to come to a service every now and then, just to check it out, and see if it's of any interest to you. I will say that I have suspicions that our the Church of St. Cuthbert is up to no good, and I haven't quite figured out why or how, but the goddess has told me that I need to be wary of them.
well, he scratches his head. He says, well, the Church of St. Cuthbert is literally up to good. But I take it that there's some disagreement between the two of you at some point.
I think he suspects nefarious intent, despite the good that they do.
No, aside from equal protection under the law for our church, and an open invitation for you, and I spin around and say, anybody in this room who sees the light of a strong arm of justice, then come. You have an open invitation.
Zag, if you move your video camera webcam over a little bit more, just so we can just see the light in the very center, that would, just kind of silhouette yourself against it. Dramatic effect.
Yeah, right.
We'll work on the dramatic effect next time.
Right.
All right.
It's almost perfect.
He will definitely do what he can to to drop by and maybe send one of his assistants over. He says,
It would mean a lot to our acolytes and followers to see you, the leader of this community, attend time to time.
Maybe invite. Froderick
he
says,
says,
perhaps invite him for 5 or 10 minutes just to stop by and look at the church. That might be a good start.
he says, all right, if it means that much to you, then you're doing a service to not only myself but also the city. So yeah, I'll do this for you. I'll come back.
Thank you.
Have our gratitude. Lev picks up and says, aside from church business and what you can do for us and what we can do for you, we thought it important to keep you informed on the situation as it developed, as this is showing to be perhaps a more serious threat than we previously thought, perhaps even to Kavik Pool.
Okay. He says, if you need any assistance with the king, basically whatever it takes to get you to the city state, I will ensure that it's done.
That may be an avenue we have to pursue. I will let you know if we have need of it.
Okay, will do. All right.
We've unlocked a new area.
You've unlocked a new achievement.
Da, 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 da.
Duke butt kissing. You now get 10% more for all artifacts and gems recovered in dungeons.
Yay! All right. So other than that, the dinner is uneventful.
We're not attacked by the vegetables.
You are not actually. You're able to overcome the fruits to the point that the vegetables are staved off for the moment. You definitely feel that if you stayed any longer, the rutabaga might be an issue.
Yeah, but I think that Lev is about an asparagus away from leveling up or something like that. So, just a thought.
Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when we've the visit has come to an end, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're down 2 to go.
Good to see you. Glad I could help. Okay, now please get the fuck out of my throne room. So.
Oh, you're not in the throne room. You're in a
Okay.
antechamber.
Get the fuck out of the Citadel Church Fortress. I'm sorry. Be on your way. Go with God.
Right. Always
Make yourself
welcome. So
scarce.
glad to see you. Catch you next time. No, yeah, always welcome. So glad to see you. Catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Yeah, so glad to see you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a conversational evasion feat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This Duke has it in spades. All right.
He'll nice you to death.
Give him half a chance.
Yeah. Well, I say we probably need a rest as a party, at least just a general rest, recover spells and hit points and things like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
Unless you can think of other business, and then start hitting the book literally and rotating the book. That's gonna be funny. Oh, the Speak with Dead. We gotta.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta do that. We gotta
Yeah.
do that.
Let's get that.
God, there's so much shit.
I know, in the laundry, right?
This is
dishes.
what
the fuck?
It's all over the floor of the church ever since
Right?
Zag told them church
What's that
orders
growing on the
shit.
toilet? Is that a yellow mold? Jesus Christ! Fuck!
Oh my God.
What the hell?
All
So
right. You've
cold
got,
in here.
if I remember correctly, you've got 2 dead bodies you were playing with.
That is correct.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
LJ is actually going to have to rest before he can cast it. So
Okay.
we should
Okay.
rest and then we'll do that.
We'll just explain to the rest of the inn if they see them that they're just really, really drunk friends.
No, we should leave town for this.
No. He's resting. Resting? I'll wake him up.
Oh, she's planning for the
Mr.
fjords.
Oh, Mr. Drow.
You don't understand. This guy sleeps like the dead.
NOT, not speaking to dead in this fucking church. You are
They
not
agreed,
doing it.
Zach. They already said so. They're not doing it.
They're not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're fully leaving town for this one.
Yeah, they're going out of town.
So
All right.
just slip out to find a ship, and no, that wouldn't be good.
No,
Well,
we can just go out to the we can leave through the east gate near the inn and
Mhm.
just go a little ways down the road and find a nice patch of grove that is a bit secluded.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Okay.
It'd be a lot secluded.
You actually find a grove that is it's like a very clean, clear, not even any grass growing on it. It's just a good 20-foot circle of nice fine dirt, and it looks like you're actually a pretty good place to do this.
Okay.
So we fully rested and all.
Mhm.
Got that clear. All right. Froderick stands back a little bit, but he has at least one question to ask the priestess, but go ahead.
Let me pull up the speak with dead spell right quick. Okay, so it's 1 spell per 2 caster levels.
Mhm.
And since LJ is 12th level, we'll get 6 questions.
Is that per person or just total, right?
Total.
Total, okay. Probably should focus more on the drow priestess, I think, than the were-rat. Just my thought.
Oh no. We'll get 6 questions per spell, so we'll get 6 questions for each of them. I misunderstood you. I thought you meant we could each ask 6 questions, which is not the case.
No, that's not what I meant. No, I didn't mean that.
All right. So which one are you gonna do first?
Let's do the human. You want to do the human first?
We can. Yeah. Actually, there are. Yeah, I get that's fine with me.
Okay.
Okay, so let's think out our questions first.
Okay.
First off, obviously, what were you doing with the drow? What were you doing with the drow? As I recall, there was another human. Is that correct, Victor?
That's correct.
Was the other human the drow?
And what are you doing? You're talking about what was his intent or plans with the drow, right?
Yeah, that's going to be the first question. What were you doing with the drow? So far, I have what were you doing with the drow, and who was the other human with the drow? What questions have you got?
Most of my questions are the drow priestess, but I would like to know. Can we show the dead a map of the dungeon and ask it about the dungeon itself? About we did draw out the dungeon in our characters, not just metagaming, right?
I don't see why we couldn't do that. Oh, you know what? We could ask him what he knows about the dragons, because a thought occurred to me during the week
Yes.
when we popped off with that like 8th level spell, the giant flash of light or whatever. That should have woken the dragon up.
You know, that's a good point. Also, the ravens.
Yeah, we should ask about the ravens.
Yeah. So what's up with the?
What
Yeah.
do you... Okay.
Ask them about the dragons for sure. And actually, I forgot to say something to Tim about the ravens because that. But after we talk to them, we'll know more anyway.
Yeah. So I'll ask for the third question. What do you know about the dragons and the ravens in the cave? I'll be specific.
All right.
For the other three, I guess we can just fly it by the seat of our pants based on what he responds with.
Possibly another question would be why the temperature fluctuates, as Blodgett noticed.
I'm not sure he'd know that.
He might not. It's a like a question 6 if we run out of questions.
All right.
All right. You cast the spell. Will last for. It's a different version. It will last for several minutes. The corpse of the human stirs, seems to shake and be surprised at its ability to move.
Froderick reflexively starts to take his bow off. Force of habit.
It looks at who cast the spell again?
LJ.
It looks at LJ, and just why have you? Why am I here?
You will depart again soon, but we have questions for you. We'll answer them.
You may already have won the sweepstakes.
We've been calling about your car's extended warranty.
It's about to run out. You may miss out on important savings with Geico. No, that's fuck with the dead, not speak with the dead.
I was literally about to pull the extended warranty thing with you when you told me that. All right, what do you ask him?
The first question is, what were you doing with the drow?
I served the drow and the priestess Eclavda.
Can you spell that out for me in chat, Victor?
Sure.
Let me get to where I'm putting notes. Drow. Okay. Who was the other human with the drow, and was he also a follower of Eclavdra?
The other human with me, the corpse looks confused for a second. It says, yes, other humans. Yes, we followed Eclavdra. We were all close friends.
Until you meddling kids came along.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We were having a great time.
I think I've got a question, Broderick, before we get to the dragons and the ravens along this line. Do you think I should ask about how this clan of humans came to follow the drow? Do you think that's something worth pursuing?
I don't think it matters that much. I think I would direct that question more towards Ford progress, like what's happening now or is going to
Okay.
happen, was that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not a bad question, but it's just we have a limited number, and that's
Yeah.
how I would direct my question.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, and also,
Um,
Suzanne, if you've got any thoughts on what to ask the were rat, or open suggestions. And
Oh,
love.
that guy was a were rat?
Yeah, I was a were rat. Yep.
I guess we should have known there were were rats since we ran into them.
I mean, we've run into so many things, it kind of runs together, I guess. Okay, then I'll go ahead and move on to asking about the dragons and the ravens. I'll say there were 3 dragons, and there were also seemingly highly intelligent ravens in the cave. What do you know of them?
To go tactical.
Okay. Creature seems to struggle for a minute, but does answer. Don't mess with the ravens. They belong to Firefin.
The dwarf. We need to know who that dwarf is, that damn dwarf prince.
That's right.
So that name he spoke, did they belong to that? Ask him about the dwarf.
Okay. How can I phrase this question?
Well, just take your
If I
time.
just ask him, who was this dwarf, then probably just gonna get his name, which
Yeah,
he just
well,
said.
ask something about the dwarf's true nature and capabilities, what we need to watch out for. Basic, something along that line, even if it takes 2 questions or so.
Okay. What is the true nature and extent of the powers of the one in the cave who took the shape of a dwarf?
Um, the corpse nods somewhat and says, Ambi, he works for the giants and us.
And that other question about the ravens, they belong to who? What was the name? If you could type it to Brandon, I guess.
I'll type it into the chat. Oh, I was typing this to you. Sorry, I thought I was typing that to the chat.
So Ambi is the evil dwarf, huh? Okay. The Clavdra, Ambi, which rhymes with Bambi. That's kind of disturbing.
Think that was on purpose?
What?
His name being an anagram, or not an anagram, but similar to Bambi.
Got me, because you got some sick Disney fans in that dungeon.
Yeah. We've come across weirder things in this game.
Yeah. But the ravens belong to who? What was the name given? I'm asking LJ or
I
Brandon.
typed it into chat.
Okay, sorry. Firefin. There we go. Ravens. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ombi. Okay. Ombi, not Ambi. And us.
Okay, so we should have 2 questions left. Do you think
you
it
have
worth
one.
asking? Oh, we have 1. My bad.
You remember the name Ombi as the name of the dwarven prince?
Yeah.
Isn't he the one we freed?
Yes, he is.
Uh-huh.
Ask about Firefin, then, you think?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask you.
Yeah.
Who, do you think a basic who is question would work?
I would say, I don't know if you Victor would speak with dead. Is it fair to, like, if they have limited knowledge, just like tell what you know us about Firefin, and then he can do an encyclopedia spill. Well, I mean, not an encyclopedia, but
let me
a couple of
read you
sentences.
the spell's description. The
Okay.
corpse's knowledge is limited to what the creature knew during life, including the
Right.
language it spoke, if any.
Mm-hmm.
Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Okay. Then you need to be very specific, is what I would say. Like, ask if Firefin, like, is he extraplanar or a demon or something like that? Or where we can find him? Or is he watching us or something like that? And we can still ask the Drow Priestess a few of these.
Yeah, but we've got fewer free questions for the priestess. I don't know. I think I'd be content with a who is, because he's likely not extraplanar, because we didn't encounter, the only extraplanar we encountered was the Titan. The actual demons that we fought were drows doing a polymorph thing. Or a
Sure.
polymorph sort of thing.
That's true. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Okay, who is Firefin?
She is the mistress of the dungeon. We don't fuck with Firefin. Nobody fucks with Firefin. Nobody. And with that, the features of the human slowly reserve and revert back to that of a truly dead corpse, which he is. He seems restful in his death. Jesus.
The scarf that can be
Where?
worn in one of 5 ways, actually 6. But ask not of the 6th way. Do not meddle in affairs beyond your mortal minds. We've got a scene going on here.
Oh my god. Also, do not shine the flashlight on the elder god's face.
Oh boy. You learned that in a Lovecraftian game or something?
No, the last episode of Ogloff.
Oh my god, okay.
There's a very good reason why you don't. Alright. Next,
Okay.
what do you guys want to do?
We need to think about what we just learned. So,
You need to
I'd
think
be
about what you
willing.
learned, sir.
Yeah. I would be willing to bet that Eclavdra was the Drow priestess who held the tentacle staff wand thing
Yes, that
and
sounds
had
right.
those underlings.
Yeah.
We've learned that Ombi doesn't it isn't like the head honcho for the area. The ravens belong to Firefin, and Firefin is probably the one that we killed, the one who turned into the demon.
Sounds reasonable.
Those are the assumptions that I'm making.
Well, then what you need to do when you speak with dead with this one, if this is that sounds like when we have the corpse of Firefin with us,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Then you need to get a positive ID on who she is and who she was in relation to the rest of the dungeon. But also one other thing, make sure we know, so we haven't really found like a passageway that leads to the Underdark, or that would connect, because I would think it would be connected with the Drow if they're here. They did not get here by overland travel, right? Yeah. So there must be a tunnel somewhere. Where is that tunnel? We need to know when we go back. We need to know our next step, where we go in that dungeon.
I don't think they used a tunnel.
Okay.
They used that artifact called the necrolith. It was likely to teleport in the same vein that we used the chain to get to the Frost Giant dungeon.
Then ask a question that will clarify how they got there. What is the path? Did they teleport there? Did they use the necrolith? Did they American Airlines?
As I recall, those instructions were pretty specific on how to use the necrolith to get to the Underdark. So the only line of questioning relevant to that would be, where is the necrolith?
That's a good point. Okay. We still might make one stab with a map of the dungeon, and like if we have any questions, like, or ask about the dragons as well. Dragons, and maybe not the ravens so much, but the dragons, since we didn't really get much on that. We were just told don't fuck with the ravens, which I kind of felt. I sensed they were more dangerous than the dragons for some reason. I don't know why.
Unfortunately, you killed one.
Yeah. I'm a ranger about that. Well, I didn't know he was there. Collateral damage. Right. I did not target him.
Target engines, understand?
And like, yes, understood. Yeah, that's why the other one I just used wild empathy. And what I got was a.
All right, so you're gonna cast Speak with Dead on the Drow?
In a second, I'm putting questions together.
All right.
Oh, while you're doing that, we're just gonna get up and check something.
Okay, so can you still hear me, Joel?
Yes, I can.
Okay. First question so far is, what is your name and role with the Drow? Check out.
Name, rank, and serial number.
Yep. 2 is, where is the necrolith? 3, oh crap, I left the robe with Tim, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Real doofus move.
You can just say the robe we found and gave to Tim. Well, they're not going to know that. That's right.
Robe.
Technically, the robe you were wearing.
Set. Gems. And...
This one was not wearing that robe.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it was a Clavdra. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask her directly about a Clavdra then.
Well, we don't know for sure that was a Clavdra. So what I'm going to say is, recall the mauve robe inset with gems. Did you work with the one who wore it, or were you adversaries?
Well, that's a yes/no question. So.
Yeah, that's pretty direct.
You'll get a yes/no, probably a non-cryptic answer on that. Probably.
What other questions do you have?
Let's see where the first 3 or 4 take us. I just need us to know what direction our party needs to take, like returning to the dungeon and where we go in there, and also a little bit more about the dragons.
Okay, I'll make a note to ask about the dragons.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready to cast.
All right. A quick question. What is the saving throw versus the spell for you?
Ooh, that's right. They get a saving throw if they're a different alignment, huh?
Yeah. I know the were-rat completely failed his save. Which is
That's
why I
going.
said the phrase, he struggles but answers the question.
Okay, okay. That's going to be 10 plus, no, 5 plus spell level plus caster level, so 21.
All right, so I rolled a 30.
Fuck.
So the corpse of the drow priestess struggles a bit, comes and sees you, sees Frederick, says, flips you off, and dies again.
Well, we
I
can always
really
test it.
wish I had failed my save because those were good questions. Those were really good
Fuck.
questions.
No,
I'll
we
tell
can
you
say
what.
again tomorrow, can't we?
No, you cannot.
Oh, we can't do this again.
You didn't tell me that. Shit. You only have one shot? Really? Well,
It's a-
you should have cast prayer or something, right? Because it would have been -1 to their roll. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference on 21 to 30, but still.
Actually, it doesn't say anything about in the spell about how you can't cast it again.
Yes, it does. If the corpse has been subject to speak with dead within the past week, the new spell fails. You can
Oh.
cast the spell on a corpse that has been deceased for any amount of time, but the body must be intact to be able to respond. A damaged
Well, then we can
corpse
try
may
next
give
week.
partial answers or partially correct answers, but it must have a mouth in order to speak at all. You're lucky Joel left the mouth intact.
That was on purpose.
Of course.
What did you say, John?
Okay, so how can we preserve a body for a week?
There is a spell called repose, I think, that will
Repose.
preserve a corpse. But actually, it doesn't matter. It can deteriorate down to bones. In a week, we can still ask it questions.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna fucking stink.
Okay, casting repose might be a good idea. That or ice. Find some ice. A good ice spell. Well, you don't want to use an ice spell because then it would be.
Let's cast Cone of Cold. But
yeah, the problem is we pick it up and the things break off of it. That could fuck
Yeah.
up. Yeah. I like the fact that she flipped me off. That is fun. I pissed
okay,
her off. Good.
crap. I'd have to have LJ rest so I can prepare that spell.
I think I can do repose after resting. Well, we did rest, but have to probably. It's not a spell I normally cast, so I would have to have 8 hours more of rest. And we got to wait till next week anyway. But that's right. We need to preserve it. Put it on ice until we can get like just a cold area, like a ice house or something like that.
Well, 8 hours is not going to decompose.
Yeah,
with
we can.
So you can rest for 8 hours, cast repose, and then it'll be preserved for the rest of the week.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay,
I can do that.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's a druid spell. I think 2nd level.
No, it looks like it's a cleric and wizard spell. But I can
cleric. Okay.
I can just have LJ do it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, you guys cast repose, and then who's going to be reading the manual of workout material?
Actually, before we read the manual of workout material, and before we leave this grove, Lev is going to produce a deck of cards. Or actually, LJ. LJ is going to produce a deck of cards.
Okay.
Because it's in his inventory. And he's going to say, you guys feel like taking a risk?
I mean, now would really be the time. I'm not even kidding. Now would really be
I
the
guess so.
Okay. He's going to hand it off to Lev to identify it first. He's going to cast Identify. Because all we know it's a deck of cards, and I have strong suspicions about what it may be. But I want to make
deck of many
sure.
things.
There are other decks.
That's
admittedly.
true. Go ahead. I remember one of the things they could have with a deck of many things.
Oh, there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
It's kind of not worth using it.
it's
but
it's kind of inviting trouble, but it would amuse Victor greatly. I know that much. There is no doubt he will be amused.
Let me
Okay.
triple check something real quick.
Yeah, let me look at this bastard because deck of many things usually it's 13 cards, right?
I think so. I forget off the top of my head.
Depends on the DM. I had one that had 99 one time.
It says deck of many things usually found in the box or pouch. Most of these only have 13 cards. That's my guess, but what really matters is what it actually is.
I've noticed
I know
Victor has a
what
penchant for using custom tables anyway.
That's fine.
You do it 5 times, and suddenly the players are like, Victor always does this.
So you always do it. You have a penchant for it. I mean, it's how I became a centaur.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I mean, how I became a Knoll.
I still
Met
am
Your Mother.
so mad that you didn't pick centaur, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the priest
Well,
on mission.
we would have really.
Titanic in the game. Who stole from the mission from the
What?
mission.
What, John?
Oh.
Oh, it's something else. So there's 17 cards in the deck.
Okay.
Ooh, that's what I need.
Is there any confirmation by the Identify spell as to what this deck is?
The Identify spell has no idea what this is.
Okay. We still doing this?
I feel like a bunch of teenagers in a haunted house playing
Oh
with
yeah.
a keyboard.
Pretty adequate.
I would run this past Tim first.
Oh,
See
man.
what he thinks. We can tell him the answers we got from the were-rat and maybe ask for some advice on overcoming the saving throw of the Drow Priestess.
And if we all happen to die, it would all be for naught, right? So why don't we go tell him first?
Nah, it's worth it. Go ahead and give it a shot. Yeah, do it now. Tim would basically tell you just give it a shot.
I mean, that's good enough for me. Okay, it's been rusted twice, so it's probably been spent nearly a day out here.
Rested twice? Okay.
You have rested twice, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll load up the corpse of the priestess and make our way to Tim's then, I suppose. I still want to play with this deck.
You know how that sounded?
I know how it sounded.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you make it to Tim's. Well, you make it to where Tim's shop is. His door is missing, though.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
He's working on some stuff.
Yeah.
He's a little busy with some things.
He's
yeah,
taking off in his TARDIS.
we
Um,
busy
You've given
him.
him a bunch of incredibly powerful magic items. He's got work to do.
that's
Yeah, I'd kind of be I'm just so curious. I've gotta draw a fucking card, man.
I'm trying to think of some things we could do to mitigate the potential damage of doing that sort of thing.
Be in a group. Be
Yeah,
outside of
that's fine.
town.
Well, some spells, some protective spells, protection from evil, or something like that.
All right.
Or
What
just
buffs do you want to
protection.
cast? By the way, Zag just we lost Zag, so
Yeah, we did. He had some connection issues, I noticed.
You know what? I say save the deck for next week, and because we can always
Oh
do it then.
man. I've been sitting on this all week.
I'd give it a shot, dudes.
Okay,
Seriously,
all right.
seriously,
God
give it a
damn.
shot.
So we each
Alright.
draw a card or something like that, and
We draw one card and we see how it goes, and then if we live, we decide. How about that?
I like it.
Okay, so
oh, that's easy. What's your favorite color? It's
All
the
right,
deck of death.
who wants to draw a card?
Lev is gonna go ahead and draw a card. And LJ, in preparation for the absolute worst, is going to cast Bull Strength, Crown of Might, and Prayer.
All right.
Frederick stands ready.
Lev draws a card from the deck, and that card is 10, 19 minus 6. No, 19 minus 4. Sorry, 19 minus 4
15.
is 15. So
Nothing happens. It's a playing card.
15. It's an 8 of diamonds. Simple playing card. And it feels active, heavy, like something's going on. You want to just, it seems like it wants to leap out of your hand. What are you going to do?
I suppose I'll let it go.
All right, it falls to the ground. A knoll appears where the card is, and Lev realizes that it's waiting for his command.
Oh, sweet.
We'll call him Frederick Jr.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fox News gonna stop. He's off his meds.
It's off of his meds.
Someone in the audience.
Lev will think for a moment.
The knoll appears
It's his pocket.
as soon as the card falls on the ground and the knoll appears, the card itself is blank.
Okay.
And give me a spellcraft check, Lev.
Okay. This is why I had Lev roll. Take the first card. That, I'm looking at LJ's character sheet. I knew that spellcraft check was low. That is going to be a 25.
All right. Lev knows a major image when he sees one, and he's looking at one right now. It is an illusion. It's pretty much a major image, but it is an illusion, a very good quality illusion of a knoll, that it can be controlled by the person who drew the card.
Huh. Okay, then.
Does it make noise?
Yeah, it does.
Yes,
It's a major image.
major image is
Major, okay.
completely real. It is the highest level quality phantasm that you can create.
Okay, thank you.
It would even show up on a thermal vision camera.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It can move 30 feet away from where the card landed, but otherwise moves and acts like as if it were real, and obeys completely the desires of the person who drew the card.
Pretty cool.
All your desires, Lev.
Yes, anything Lev wants, and anything Frederick wants, because Frederick's an old too.
Froderick only wants people to know that this is my distant cousin, and that's it.
The Knoll looks at Frederick and says, "Well, kissing cousins and all that." Rawr.
Uh,
Lev commands this silent image to sultrily approach Froderick.
Froderick's bow goes to low ready. I've already killed several of my own kind. I have no qualms about doing another into the dirt. Return it
So,
back to its stance, please.
this is not a deck of many things. This is a deck of illusions.
Ah, very interesting.
Each time a different card is pulled, that random illusion will be formed and under the control of the person who drew it.
Try drawing another one, and it's Kim Kardashian.
They have that one here.
Very cool. Well, in
So-
that case, we should save the rest of these cards.
So if you pick up the card, does the card feel heavy again and active?
No, it's a card feels like a perfectly normal playing card, except that it's blank, completely blank.
So is it like a one use for each card, basically?
Yeah.
There are now 16 cards left.
Okay. Yeah, save it.
Okay.
And I guess does the Knoll remain pretty much with us, or is
Once the card is picked up, the Knoll disappears.
Okay. All right. Well, there was your big chance there, lover boy.
That was your big chance. You only got one of your own kind who didn't want to kill you.
Right?
I
do
don't know what
whatever
we
you
would
want.
have to discuss. I lived most of my life as a dwarf, so don't know much about Knowlish things.
That was your chance to find out. I mean, that thing was real.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much Knoll biology.
So it was a what image? Major image, I think.
Major
Yeah.
image.
Major image is the term.
Yeah. So it's a few steps above inflatable image, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, you have figured out the puzzle of the deck of cards. Anything else you wanted to knock out?
How about deciding on the rotation for the book, studying the book? Yeah.
No, yeah, you can knock that out. Let's knock that out as well.
Yeah, that way,
So-
next time we meet, everybody, 3 characters will have their constitution up by 1.
Yeah. So you guys wanted to do Lev, and then who else?
Bash and Zag.
And Zach. Okay. No, actually, Zach said no. He said because basically it's because you cannot do anything while you're reading this book. And he's working with the church, so he's not taking time away from the church.
Then do we? I mean, it's up for grabs. We've got a spot up for grabs then between LJ, Froderick, and Blodgett.
Blodgett, how's your would you get a bonus immediately on raising your constitution by 1? Because I wouldn't.
Nor would LJ. And nor would Lev really, but he needs every constitution point he can get.
Yeah, he does. Yes, that I agree with. Yeah.
I'm at 14, so I would go up to 15.
Then you
Well,
probably should go use it. I would recommend. You would gain hit points immediately, or after the week.
Right. So we can take care of this really quickly. So Frederick, sorry. So Lev, Bash, and Blodgett are reading the book every day. They figure out shifts, and it's a super time-consuming process. Tires them out at the end of the 16 hours when they finished reading and working out and doing everything that the book requires. They are trashed. On the 6th day, as soon as Lev finishes reading the book for the 6th time after that 8 hours, he goes and he works out, and Bash comes in to read the book, and the book is blank.
Oh,
Well, that's the way it goes. But it was best used on the people involved. So
Oh my God, no, he's not that flexible.
actually, I think only Lev would get it in that case.
That is correct. Only Lev gets it.
I thought Blodgett would gain a.
As soon as one person has read the book
Oh. Okay.
and gained its secrets, the book turns blank.
Okay.
Blodgett and Bash have worked out and become really buff and swole, but not enough to gain a Constitution point. And although you're both a little pissed off about it, you can like really do well at the next Mr. Universe contestant pageant.
I got an idea. Oh, one other thing, Lev, should you make some more dispel magic scrolls for us?
Oh yeah,
Or
definitely,
adventure?
definitely.
Yeah, we can do that.
I also need to make new teleport scrolls for Lev and LJ.
Yeah, get some healing potions.
So you guys are going to be in town for a couple of weeks.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
It's 1
yeah.
week right there.
Yeah,
We said we'd be around.
Well, remember what? So Victor, a week has gone by now.
At this point, a week will have gone by.
Okay, you want to try another speak with Dead with the Drow priestess?
I'm game for that.
Okay.
First, let's go talk to Tim, tell him what we've learned, and see if he's got any tips for overcoming that that resistance to the spell.
There's probably a YouTube video on it.
Yeah.
How to overcome Drow resistance. You see the thumbs up, thumbs down, all the comments, and then it gets political. Name calling. Shit that has nothing to do at all with the spell.
All right, so you go and you ask him. He's a little bit tired himself. Seems like he's been burning the midnight oil as well. But he's when you ask him about how to do a better speak with dead, he says the best suggestion he has is to do a prayer just after the spell is cast, or when the spell is cast, because it gives them a -1 on the roll. But there's no way to buff that spell unless you study the feat of penetrating spell.
As a matter of fact, I think Lev might have that. No, he does not. Shit.
You tease.
The one time I don't get fucking spell penetration. The one time I go for metamagic feats, man.
Too big of a condom.
It happens, man. It happens.
Mm.
Not everybody can penetrate.
No.
Shit. Okay, well. I mean, we keep rolling the dice. Victor's got to get a 1 at some point.
We can cast another repose and keep it preserved.
Yeah, we can keep plugging away at this.
All right.
Since it's been a week, I'll ask about any progress he's made with the artifacts.
Yes, he's kind of working it from the least magical to the most, and the cloak was worn by someone called Eclavdra, and they were priestess, both initially a priestess of Loth, but more recently and more dangerously a priestess of one of the outer gods, and that's the source of the tentacle rods.
Okay.
Oh, the outer gods, like the old gods, Cthulhu.
Old gods is another way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, old Cthulhu-esque influence there.
Mm-hmm. He's basically like, this is fairly dangerous magic, but not impossible to deal with.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and inform him on the information we got from the were-rat. We can corroborate that Eclavdra was the drow priestess, and now we have positive ID on her.
Okay.
As well as another name to keep watch for in that case, if he's able to learn names, is Firefin.
And also
who is
Ombi. Yeah.
Yeah, Ombi is also the dwarf, but we don't have any magic items we've pulled from him, so it's less likely that he's going to come across that name. But Firefin was apparently the mistress of the dungeon.
I should have grabbed one of those ravens when we left. Barbecue raven. It keeps, if it's smoked properly over mesquite.
It does. It really does. Yeah. Tim kind of cocks an eye at that, Mistress of the Dungeon thing. He's like, that's an odd thing for a drow to call themselves.
Well, that was from the were-rat, what the were-rat called her, right? So
Yeah.
to him, from his position, Elvira is a drow priestess, right? So
True. Well, yeah, he can't see her face, so. All right. So you guys gonna cast prayer and speak with dead?
Yep.
yes, yeah.
Save is 21. So you got that repose ready, huh?
Yep.
God damn it.
All right. You find it's useful.
Okay.
You find it's a useful spell to have ready.
Fuck.
What's that song? Was it?
It's a high level cleric. You're casting a will save against the high level cleric. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. 3 doors down. My old stone face can't seem to break her down.
yeah, that's basically where you're at.
Yeah.
All right,
Cumbersome.
so
That's the
you've
name
got
of the song.
another week of time to cast the spell, but a lot of stuff is going to happen in that week because Zag is going to be doing some stuff, and he's going to need your help. So we'll convene that week at the next session.
Okay.
And I think it'll be a very fruitful week.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. Got a few minutes.
We're skipping
totally
next
do.
week, or we're playing next week.
We are playing next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're playing next week, and hopefully it'll be. It should be fairly interesting because we'll have stuff from. We'll find out more about the dead body you guys have been playing with.
Playing with it. All right, y'all have a good night.
Oh,
Right, good night.
does she flip me off again? I'm just curious.
I know she doesn't even bother coming down this time. She's like, she knows who it is. She looks at the phone number. She looks at the phone number and just ignores it. She hits cancel. Screw you guys.
Sorry, you've reached the Drow Priestess. Please leave your message, and I'll tell you to fuck off later.
Mhm.
I
Sounds
also
good.
need to stick around for a few minutes for a little post game with Victor, but I request to be last. If you've got a secret thing, I can mute and take my headphones off, though.
Yeah, give me a minute. This is a little. I guess Vic, I don't know how comfortable do you feel. Your sister called me while we were